Today, I'm going to start an AI automation service completely from scratch and build out the entire system that you need in order to get your very first paying client using this business model. I'm building this completely from zero, live, right in front of you. No fluff, no gatekeeping. I'm talking persuasive copy, proven lead gen strategies, frameworks, blueprints, everything, all the way through to me actually booking and hopping on my first sales call. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need because I'm giving you the 7 automations I've personally sold for $2,000 a pop, all the scripts I use, the templates, so you'll have a complete copy-paste playbook to land your first paying client in the next 30 days. If you guys are new here, welcome in. I'm Anthony, and I scaled a jewelry brand from my bedroom to almost $1 million in profit, and then decided to build an AI automation agency that's now doing over $50K a month. Today, more than 700 entrepreneurs learn directly from me over at school, where I teach the real systems, strategies, and no fluff tactics to build an automation business. This is the exact system I use to scale my own agency to over 5 figures per month. While most YouTubers will try to give you theory, I'm going to show you the infrastructure behind how a 7-figure AI agency actually operates underneath the hood. Let's build. So in a nutshell, this is what we're going to cover today. Step 1, choosing a high demand niche. Ideally, the client has money, but they lack the technical knowledge or the time to solve their problem. And this is where the highest opportunity for us as AI automation service business owners exists. Step 2, find customer pain points. Pretty simple. We just want to figure out what issues people in this niche are experiencing and how we can help them solve those issues. I'll show you a couple sneaky ways, and you can find these pretty easily. There's a couple different methods I'm going to walk you through later on. Number 3 is irresistible offer creation. I'm going to show you my personal framework for creating a no-brainer offer that seems too good to be true so that our clients basically have to say yes, otherwise they would be foolish for letting go of an opportunity this good. 4th, I'm going to show you how to set up my lead generation infrastructure, and I'll show you 2 proven methods for generating high-quality leads at scale for reasonably cheap when you think about the return on investment that we'll be getting. And finally, step 5, close qualified leads and make some money. There's a little bit more that goes into it, but we'll get to that when the time comes, so there's no need to be nervous or feel intimidated because I'm going to walk you through everything step by step. Let's dive right in. Step 1, pick 2 ideal customer avatars. For this, I made this document to make it as easy as possible, and it basically gives you example niches, service types, and what you do for them pretty much. So if you want access to this, you could join my community. It's $39 a month. I give you a step-by-step roadmap on how to start your own AI automation agency and get your first paying client. But for now, we're just going to share everything in the video. So you could just watch this and get access to that. So we're going to pick 2 ideal customer avatars from this niche document. If we come over, you could see what makes a niche profitable. Strong niche usually has online first, just because you don't want to be doing local businesses because then you're limited to the businesses in your area. Whereas if you're doing online, you can work with anyone in the United States and other countries if you really want to. So the second thing is service heavy, because since we're doing automation, we really want to help them with manual labor, manual tasks that maybe take a long time or they have to pay somebody else to do. The third thing, which is very important, I should probably highlight this, is high or mid ticket. So basically, you want companies that are selling like $1,000 plus packages. So this could be like web design, this could be solar, this could be roofing, this could be dentists. Don't want to be working with like, say, a SaaS company that sells a $5 a month subscription because one customer to them is maybe only worth $60 for the year. You're going to have to bring them so much more value for them to pay you. Whereas if you work with someone like, let's say, a web design agency, a dentist, a chiropractor, someone like that, who maybe one customer to them is worth $5,000 to $10,000, if you can bring them 2 customers a month, you can easily justify charging them $7,000 for your services. So that's what I like to do. I like to stick with the high ticket companies and services, but choose whatever you want. And not struggling financially, of course. So basically, they can afford automation services. So I wrote down some example niches down here for you and some service types. And then this is pretty important as well. You want to come up with your own example statement. So for this one, I'll do e-commerce brands because I have experience with my own. I've scaled my own jewelry brand to multiple 6 figures. And we'll say we do order processing for e-commerce brands. So you could say something like, I build fulfillment/processing automation systems for e-commerce brands. Dentists as well. I ran my own dental advertising agency a while back. That's how I kind of got into service style businesses. And lead gen is definitely probably the best method we can do for them because The thing about dentists is that a lot of them are really intelligent, they're really technical, and they have a lot of money, but maybe they're not too good at things like Facebook ads or cold email, and that's where we come in and we can provide them a valuable service. So you could say, I build automated lead gen systems for dental offices. And if you can do this well, I'm telling you, you can easily charge over $5,000 a month. If you're bringing in 20, 30 leads a month for a dentist, that's worth like $50,000 or more for them. So we'll just choose those two. If you guys look through, you could see we have other ones like chiropractors, photographers, because some photographers might charge $5K for a photo shoot. Wedding planners, therapists, roofers. Solar companies are good. Coaches and consultants are pretty good. Gym owners, medical spas, all those are very good. So for this one, we're going to choose dentists and e-commerce brands. And for the e-commerce brands, we'll say, instead of servicing them order processing, I'm wondering, we'll get into that later. For now, let's mark that down. So our 2 ideal customer avatars are done. And if you bear with me for a second, we can write them down right over here. And we have, still getting used to this pen, e-com brands. So now that we have our 2 ideal customer avatars, let me just make this as clear as possible. We'll do that, and we'll do that. And let's just write down what they are. So we said e-com brands. And we said dentists. I'm going to put / orthodontist. And something to note about this as well is pretty much if you're serving one client, you can serve them all. So a dentist and orthodontist, serving them is going to be the same as if you were serving a chiropractor or if you were serving a private practice, med spa, anything like that. It's basically the same exact thing. So once you do it for one service, you can do it for all of them. All right, so we have step 1 fully complete. Step 2, determine 2 to 3 high demand AI services per niche. So in order to do this, we need to figure out what problems that these brands are typically having in this space. Okay, so now that we have our 2 ideal customer avatars, what we want to come up with is 2 or 3 pain points for each of these. So what are these businesses struggling with, and what do we see as a common pattern among these businesses? I'll tell you from experience, as a fact, I know that the dental and orthodontist space, they struggle a lot with getting leads. So that's going to be one pain point, is need more clients pretty much. And this goes across the board. Every single business needs more clients. So we can put that immediately. So the way I want you guys to think about this is that think about it in terms of business principles. The business principles always remain the same. The tactics are the only thing that changes. So the business principles are basically, how are these companies making money? They have people coming to them, so they need marketing, and they sell something. That's basically it. So if we can help them in any step of that process, making things easier, they're going to pay us. So the 3 most common ones are going to be getting them more clients, because that's in turn literally making them more money. The second one is going to be saving them time or aggravation, because a lot of these company and business owners don't want to spend 50 hours a week doing manual tasks. They just want to focus on their side of the business. So if we can help dentists with maybe follow-up flows or getting Google reviews, that's going to be huge for them, and they would happily pay for that. So now a good way to go about finding pain points for people in these businesses is, first of all, Reddit. So we can look up e-commerce, because people tend to be very honest on Reddit. So then you can go over to communities, and we're just going to look through a few of them. So this one seems pretty big. Alrighty, need help getting more traffic to my website. So, all right, we'll write that down as one of the problems. Need help getting more traffic to the website. So we can say web traffic. My store doing well, but fraud is low-key killing my soul. Random chargebacks. That's interesting. I don't know what we would do about that, but that is interesting. Let's maybe rank this by top this year. This one's today. That's pretty interesting. Donald Trump ruined my business. Okay, let's not get political. So basically, you just want to look through here and try to find a common theme of problems that people are having. I found a couple, so I'm going to go write them down. One of them was web traffic. Another one was finding creators or influencers to work with. All right, there we go. And the dentist, orthodontist, same thing. We can also go to a website like Quora. I don't know exactly how to say it, but Quora. Dental practices. What are the most common procedures? How to grow your dental practice. So that's really good. And if we open this, word of mouth, blah, blah, blah. In the telephone book, you see, so these people are perfect to sell to because they aren't really familiar with the new technology and ways to sell online. You see in here, they're talking about telephone books. The local paper might actually be good for a dentist, but telephone book, I can't tell you the last time I even saw a telephone book. So let's see if this got any comments. All right, I'm not going to sign in, so we'll just go over to Reddit. We'll check there. Here we go. All right, so this seems to be a community where they ask dentist questions. Let's look this up and see anything that comes up. 339 members, that's pretty good. Let's see what the top all-time is. Here's what I wish I knew. Had HMO patients, which is a type of insurance. All right, so I can't really find much on here about them. I'm sure if you look through a bunch of other communities, you could really dial in what their issues are. So I'll just tell you some common issues that these people typically struggle with, and we'll come up with a no-brainer offer for them. So we'll do that. And we'll say the second one is we can get them Google reviews. That way they can become well-known in their city. And we can also do like an automated referral system maybe, where someone goes in to get a cleaning, they leave, they get a message maybe an hour later. We could also do something where, here's what I'm thinking. I'll just explain it to you guys. Where a client comes in, they're happy, they just got their teeth cleaned, their smile looks nice and bright, and we'll send them a text once they're done, and we'll offer them in that text, hey, if you refer us one of your friends, family members, a new client basically, we'll give you another free cleaning on the house. And a lot of people are going to do that because everyone wants to have a nice white smile. So if all it takes to have a nice white smile is sending someone a message or telling one of your friends, hey, I get my teeth done here, you're probably going to do it. We'll write that down on this one. And we could say, what would we even say for that? Follow up referral. Follow-up referral. All right, so now we have 2 ideal customer avatars, and we also have 2 to 3 high-demand services. So next step, actually, we have 2 to 3 high-demand pain points. So now we can come up with services for these pain points. So basically, in our space, it's going to be what AI automations can we sell them that are going to fix these problems. And these are super simple to fix. All it takes is setting up an automation once, or even getting it from my community where I give these out to all of the members. And then you could sell it as many times as you want to as many different agencies. And that's how I operate my business. So the only thing I have to really focus on is getting new clients, which is super easy. The hardest thing is setting up the automation once, and that part's already done for you. So finding creators, how can we help e-com brands find creators? Well, maybe we can just set them up with an AI platform that does AI UGC, something like Arc Ads. So we'll say something like Arc Ads. So we could just put that. We'll say. And if you guys don't know what Arc Ads is, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. But If we come down here, it's basically AI UGC creators for whatever product you're selling. So you see, you could do it for a SaaS product, you can do it for a physical product, you can do it for pretty much anything. And how we would do that is we would basically set that up on the back end for them. They would pay us something like, say it's $20 per video on ArcAds, we would charge them maybe $150 per video, or maybe $1,000 per video, something like that. They probably wouldn't pay $1,000 per video unless the production quality was insane, but you get the idea. We could also set them up with a HeyGen automation, so they could clone themselves. Yeah, I think that would be a good one as well. So I'll put that one above as well. And we'll say HeyGen clone, because maybe they want to be on camera. I actually have one of these that sometimes I do Instagram Reels with for my own content. So this would be super easy to set up as well. So the next issue that they have is web traffic. So what we can do for this is we could do an automated blog post for them that's going to come up with SEO ranking topics. So we'll say automated SEO ranking blog post. And I already have one of these set up, but the way it would work for an e-com company is you'd pick whatever niche that they're in. Let's say they're in beauty, and you would set up an RSS feed to monitor different other beauty brands and other articles coming out about beauty. You would feed them into some AI like Claude or Google or Gemini, and you would have it analyze all of the information coming in, and then you would have it come out with, you would have it basically rewrite these blog posts but better, and you can even have it add images using Gemini or Nano Banana. So that would be a super good one, because we saw someone was asking, how can I get more web traffic? That's a way. And we can also do a lead gen system for them. So we'll put that as well. So we'll say lead gen system, which would probably be something like cold email. Something else that we could do for them is we could do like a Facebook ad creative campaign, but then that gets kind of difficult because you have to get put onto their ads manager and do a bunch of stuff behind the scenes and abide by all the legal structures that come with that. So I would try to avoid that. So that's good. We have 4 things that they struggle with that we can help them out with. So e-com brands, we can help them clone themselves. That way they have a UGC creator to make unlimited videos. Or we can come up with our own AI UGC system that will make videos for them. And for website traffic, we can automate SEO ranking blog post creation for e-com brands. Or we could automate lead gen systems for e-com brands. This one would be kind of tough unless they're extremely high ticket items. This might work with something like a furniture store or, I don't know, an appliance store. But for most e-com brands where their average order value is going to be something like $75 to $120, this one probably isn't going to work. So we'll just stick with these 3 for now. So we'll move these here just to make it a little bit easier. And we'll get these out of the way just because they look a little messy. We'll try to neaten everything up for you guys. That way it's as easy as possible to see and understand kind of what's going on. So these are the 2 problems that e-com brands face. This is how we solve those problems with AI. So now for the dentist, orthodontist, same exact thing. Need more clients? What can we do to help them get more clients? We can do, actually, this is basically one of my main businesses, is cold email outreach for dental and orthodontist private practices. So basically we would use a system like Apollo or Instantly AI to outreach and send emails to this person's ideal customer, and we would bring them in. So if you work with an orthodontist or a dentist that does maybe veneers, these people can charge upwards of $30,000 per client. So if you can bring them 1 client every month, they'll be happy to give you $10,000. You can think of that as, if you have 3 clients, you might be making $30,000 a month. So it's not as crazy as people think it really is. Need Google reviews? We can do a follow-up message, same as this one almost. We can maybe even combine these into one. Let's keep it separate for now. So we'll do, they need Google reviews. We'll do post-visit follow-up message. And you can use a platform like Twilio for this. I think it's Twilio. Let me see. Yeah. And follow-up referral, same thing. You can use Twilio for it. So we'll mark that up and over. And again, we'll just put those together, and this is what we can do for dental practices. So hopefully you guys get the idea. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. It seems very complicated at first, but within, 20 minutes, we now know exactly who we're serving and what we have to give them. So we have that for dentists, and we have this for e-com brands. And with the system I'm about to show you, you'll have your first client within 1 month, 100%. If you can talk to them on a phone call and clearly explain and tell them in detail how your system works, how it's going to help their business and bring them more revenue, more money, they will be happy to pay you. So step 2 is now fully complete. Now step 3, we're going to set up lead scraping and outreach infrastructure. So before we do step 3, if you come back over to this sheet, and you can see we can build out our statements now. We now have a bunch of statements to build out. So you can say, I build out automated cold outreach system for dentists to bring them 30 more clients every single month. I build out follow-up message sequences for dentists and private practices to help them get more Google reviews and bring in more clients. Something like that, where you could say, and you could say something like, I create AI UGC automated systems for e-com brands to help them increase their brand awareness and get more views every single month. Or you could say, I create SEO ranking blog posts for e-com brands to help them rank higher on Google and get more web traffic. Something that simple will sell. So now step 3, we're going to be setting up our lead scraping and outreach infrastructure. There's a few different methods I want to get into. Method 1 is going to be best for if you're just starting out, and that's going to be Loom outreach or DM outreach on LinkedIn. Now, if you have no money at all, you are doing this from scratch, you're trying to build an agency for the ground up, this is 100% the route to go. Basically, what you would do is you would write out your statements, and whatever you offer, you would do a Loom outreach video for someone. So you would come over to LinkedIn. Better than LinkedIn, especially if you're doing this with no money, come over to Yellow Pages. And here, you can just simply look up dentist in whatever area you want to, and you'll be able to find them. This is how I first started out back in 2023. So I would just look up something like dentist in my area. So I would look up Boston, Mass, and you'll see a list of them as well as the phone numbers and sometimes emails if you use a certain tool. So I would just go down here and copy every single one of these phone numbers and call them. And if you can find an email, definitely what you should do is you come over to your automation, whatever it would be, and you go to their website. So let's say they have a website. Well, apparently their website can't be reached. But if they did have a website, you would basically go on it, look at it, see what work they need done. You would come into N8N, and you would come over here into whatever workflow you're going to use to help them. And you would basically explain to them. You would say, hey, I saw your business on blah, blah, blah. Just basically say something to give them a nice introduction, maybe make them laugh, let them know you're human. And you would come into an app just like this one that I'm using. It's called Loom.com. I don't know if I can go into it while I'm recording. I don't know if that'll stop the video, but we'll see. So yeah, Loom.com, which it basically lets you record your screen with a face cam like I'm doing. And you would show them an automation like this. And you would say, let's say the dentist's name is Howard. You would say, hey, Howard, I just went on your website. I saw this, this, and this. I actually run systems for dentists just like you. And my systems basically bring in 35 more clients every single month. And the good thing about these systems is that I don't charge a fee to work with me the first month. It's completely free. And then only if you like the results that you got do you pay. And then maybe we can talk about a monthly retainer. If that sounds good to you, be sure to give me a call back. Blah, 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 blah. And basically, when you do this for these companies, they are 100% going to call you back because no one has ever gone through that much effort just to talk to them about their own business. So that lets them know that you're extremely serious. If you show them you know what you're doing as well, they'll be happy to work with you. So that's the first way done. And I would definitely recommend that, especially if you're starting out, you don't have much money. That's a way where you can get your first couple clients, get some testimonials. That way people know you're good to work with. And now the second, you can do DM outreach, which is kind of the same thing. You look up for people based on what they do for work in LinkedIn. This one, you do need the business navigator, I think, which I forget how much it is monthly, but it's definitely worth it. You'll definitely get some answers and you'll have to book appointments, but I just recommend doing the Loom if you're looking for a free method. The second is going to be a cold email method. So the difference is these ones are highly targeted. You're targeting one person at a time, hyper specific. So if they say no, you just wasted 10 minutes. But the second one, the cold email method infrastructure, when we set this up, we're basically going fishing with the world's biggest net. And we're going to dip it in the water and maybe 3 fish come out. But we don't care because that's all we need. So this one is going to be cold email. And I'll go into exactly how to set up the infrastructure for this because this is one of the strongest tools. And if you know this as an AI agency owner, you'll have clients forever. You will never lack clients if you know how to set up this system. And now another very high and now another super secret tool that most people do not know about but will get you clients is this website right here. It's something like this. And if you come over to this website, what it lets you do is basically find e-commerce companies that are doing a certain amount of website traffic. So if they're doing a certain amount of website traffic, you can infer that they're making a certain amount of money and would be willing to work with you with their services, and they would be qualified to work with you. So now what you do is you set up right here the IP parent owner, you set up Shopify. In popular ranking, I don't usually do this, but I do come down to popularity, and I typically do something like 900 to let's say 2,800 visitors per day, because I think the average order rate from people that land on your page is like 3%. So if they have this many people, we can infer that they're making a decent amount of money. And we can do web server location. I typically do United States. Let's just do this for now. So now if we go through here, we can see every single website that's getting this many visitors per day. And the cool thing is if you want to work with a certain niche, you can also look up like part of their name. So let's say you want to work with somebody in the beauty niche. You can look up beauty and then search again, and only beauty websites are going to come up here. So here we go. We have 3 pages, 50 each. So we have 150 businesses now that are qualified and in our specific area of expertise. We could come in here and you could either scroll to the bottom to look for an email, or you could download any Chrome extension that allows you to get the email of the owner of this store, basically. And then you would come to their website and you would say, hey, you would start recording like I'm recording right now. And you'd say, hey, I noticed you have a really great website. I think I could help get you more customers. That way they could see your awesome website. What I do is I do this, this, and this for brands in the beauty niche just like yours. I recently helped out another company that looks just like yours, and we added an extra $20,000 per month in revenue for them. If you're open to a call, reply to this message, and you would just send that to their email. They'll reply. You get on a call, tell them what you had in mind, and once you come up with the perfect offer for them, which you'll have, it's going to be a no-brainer for them. So now, if you do choose to go the cold email route, which I recommend, if you have the money for it, you're definitely going to get leads and you're going to get them quick. The only thing is, the only problem with this is that if you don't have experience selling and being on a Zoom call face-to-face with someone, you might get nervous and you might mess up the call, and you might not close the sale, so you might be wasting money. It might be better to go with one of these routes first, but if you have the money, why not try it? And for this, we're going to use a variety of different tools as well as different automations. So let's get right into that. Okay, so I just paused this because I did some testing. I was going to see, should we do cold email or phone? And I decided we're going to do phone numbers just because that's a more direct line to these people and a better chance of getting them to hop on a call than email. And it's also more of a personal touch, and they're going to see that you're a real person. So we can come over to this website called Appify, and I just found this new product that they have. It's insane. I'm not affiliated with them in any way at all, but what Appify does is it basically lets you scrape data in people's emails, phone numbers from various different things. So you can extract data from TikTok, Google Maps, Instagram, websites, and so on and so forth. But this one I just found is the Google Maps scraper. And what I did is I came in and I put dentist because we're going to be selling to dentists. And then when you hit run, what it's going to do is it's going to scrape Google Maps for all the different dentists. And you can put filters if you want. So you can do filter by area, by details, by company contacts, by reviews. You can filter by all these things. I just said dentists in the USA, give me 500 of them. And then it's going to, if we come over to runs, give me 1 second. Come over to runs. Here it was right here. It costs $2 to get 500 leads, which is absolutely insane. And then there's going to be an export button when it's done. So you can just click export, export it to Google Sheets. And you see we have a list of 500 dentists over here. And we also have their phone numbers. If we scroll here, so we have their business name, blah, blah, blah. I'll probably have to, actually no, this is public data, so I won't have to blur it out. You'll have their score as well, which is their Google review rating. You have a link to their website if you want. But most importantly, if we scroll over here, you can see their categories that they offer. So you're going to be able to see which ones are worth calling and which ones maybe aren't, depending on your niche, because certain niches might be not worth calling, other ones will be. Like dental implants, I know for a fact that that's a pretty hefty service. They're going to be charging a high amount of money for that. And then if we come over, you could see what city they're in. Keep going. You could just see like an image of their like business. You know how Google has that? It'll just be a picture of the building. You could see what time they're open, opening hours, schedule. And most importantly, we're looking for the phone number. So right here, we have the phone numbers. And what you can do is you can go on your cell phone on Google Sheets once you have this information and just go down the list and call every single one. And I'm going to give you a script in the next section of this with what exactly to say to them to get them on a phone call. And once you, not on a phone call, sorry, on a Zoom call. And once you get them on that Zoom call, I'm going to show you exactly how you can close that client, because you're going to be able to set up your screen sharing and you're going to show them exactly what you can do for them and explain it to them in a way that makes them confident and trust you. And they're going to decide to work to you. And one client is going to pay for this 1,000 times over. So all you need to do is go through this list, call, 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 call. And if one of these 500 people say yes, you just made $5,000. So it really is that easy. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. And actually, this section right here is very interesting. So we can see the review count. So maybe something worth doing would be to filter this by lowest to highest and offer the people like, hey, you only have 8 reviews. Would you like me to help get you more Google reviews, and I can help you rank higher in your city, and you can be the #1 dentist in your city, and you'll rank #1 on Google. That way when people look up dentist near me, you pop up. And we can also bundle that. So we'll bundle the Google review with an SEO ranking blog post, and just like that, their problem solved. They'll pay us a monthly fee and we'll be on our way. We'll set it up once, give them 1 call per month, say, hey, this is how you're doing. You got 45 new reviews, 10 new blog posts posted this month. Everything's going great. How are things looking on your end? And they're going to say, amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay. So next step, now that we have set up the lead scraping and outreach infrastructure, check that off really quick, is to craft a no-brainer offer using our framework. So I'm going to bring you guys over here to do that. The framework is basically proof, promise, plan, and then deliver. I don't know who originally came up with this. It might have been like Alex Hormozy. I'm not exactly sure, but it definitely works. So first we need to do this for the dentist. So now what could we do? So since we're doing a phone call first, I think it's normal to come out with something like, let's say, hey, is this name? Hey, name. I just spotted something on your Google profile that's quietly costing you thousands every month. It's quietly costing you thousands every month. And it only takes 3 minutes to fix. All right, now we come out with the proof, promise, plan, because this is essentially a hook. This is what we want to do to get them interested. Now the proof. Proof is almost always going to be, I worked with someone similar and added this exact thing and it helped them grow their business by this. So we could say last month we applied this fix to a dentist, to a dental practice in Austin, Texas, and they added 30 new high-value patients in 27 days. I don't like 30. We'll say 31 new high-value patients without discounting or running ads. Proof, promise. Now we have to promise them we'll give them the same thing, otherwise they will not pay a penny. So basically all we're trying to do is remove all the friction of them working for us, because if we can't deliver on something that we're going to be helping them with, we don't deserve to get paid anyway. So as long as we deliver what we tell them we can give them, then we want the money. And that's honestly a good way to do business anyways. So promise, I'll personally deliver 20 booked new patient appointments next month guaranteed. And you can either do, or you don't pay, or you could say something like this, guaranteed. If I don't, then you don't pay a dime. What I would honestly recommend, if you're truly just starting out and this is your first person that you're going to be working with, I would promise you don't pay me until I deliver these clients to you, because then they have to say yes. And plus, you don't have any proof anyways. So it's a no-brainer for them to say, go ahead, try to hand deliver me clients for free. The worst thing that happens for them is nothing, and that's where they already are. The best thing that happens, they get 30 clients delivered to them. And now you're going to continue delivering them value every single month for a payment. They'd be happy to pay you. And now, since you're on a phone call with them, you're going to want to say something like, does that sound good? And they're going to say, of course that sounds good. You're basically bringing me clients for free, or I give you part of the profits that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And then you're going to say, awesome. Let me get your email. That way I can send you a Zoom link and I can walk you through the plan step by step. It'll be a quick 10-minute call. So we'll just say, plan, sound good. Perfect. Grab your email so I can call you on Zoom in 10 minutes. And then you say, what date works for you? Good. Send the email. And then that is where the closing happens. So this right here is what makes you the money. Obviously, when they first answer the phone, build some rapport. Say, oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. Maybe give them a compliment. Maybe make a joke about dentistry. If you like put in some effort, guys. You just have to like build rapport with these people just so they know you're a real human being, you're a good person, you're trying to work with them, you actually do this. And once you get them to trust you and you pitch them this, any dentist in their right mind is going to say yes. So as long as you can deliver, they're going to give you money. And it's going to happen every single month as long as you continue delivering. And if you stack these up, maybe the first dentist you say, you know what, since you're my first client, maybe you don't actually say this to them, but maybe you say, since you're my first client, how about $1,000 a month? Perfect, perfect. Because you're giving them about $8,000 a month in additional business. The second one, you can say, yeah, this costs $2,500 a month. And then eventually, when you get really good, you can say, yeah, it's $7,000 a month to work with us. We give you this, this, and this. And we also provide this. First month guarantees are this, this, and this. Sound good? Sound good? Good. And then you get right into it. So now, just like that, our no-brainer offer is now complete using our framework. Step 5, generate qualified leads. You're basically going to do that over the phone. So that's basically setting appointments. Qualified leads are going to lead to an appointment. So we basically have that. And now the next steps are going to be, we have a few, right? So basically the next steps are going to be, you're going to want to come up with some type of pitch deck or some type of script plan for the call. And this is where the closing happens. This is where the real money is made, because you want to, first of all, you want to show expertise. And that's not hard to do in AI automation, because most businesses and like regular people have no clue what anything is. They don't know what N8N is. They don't know what Make.com is. They don't know what Appify is. They have no clue about this stuff, right? So if you can show them that you have even an inkling of knowledge in this industry and that you can make automations that do certain things, and you get that light bulb moment for them, like, wow, that was crazy, you're going to close the deal. So for the pitch deck, I recommend same thing, proof, promise, plan. And I really want to harp on the fact that when you're running this business, don't always look for a script and the perfect thing to say. Just keep in mind, like, this is a real person who runs their business. Think about what they want. Okay, he's a dentist. He wants to make more money every month. How does he do that? He needs more clients. Okay, how can I add more clients? Okay, I can do it by finding people in his area and emailing them for him using this AI automation. Perfect. So you don't really need to script the phone call. You just get on the call, you say, hey, how you doing? Talk about the weather for a couple minutes, and then say, so what's going on in your business? What made you accept the call from me? What's been going on? Blah, blah, blah. You get some information about him, and then you go from there. Don't try to script it, because it won't sound natural at all. And then the next step is going to be, you're going to want to have your Stripe account set up. That way you can actually accept payment. And I recommend doing this on the call, because that's when they're ready. They're ready to pull the trigger on the call because you convinced them. Have payment ready. You can either do this with Stripe. You can also integrate Stripe with PandaDoc. So PandaDoc is basically a tool that allows you to template out your agreements with people. So you could say, this is our 3-month agreement, and you can have it say company name, and whoever you're talking to, let's say it's Bob's Dentistry. You're going to change company name to Bob's Dentistry, and then you send over the offer. It's going to have everything you're going to do for him. He's going to sign, and you can integrate Stripe directly into that while on the phone call, so he'll be going through it. He'll see the Stripe. You say, yeah, you just pay right there. And like I said, if I don't provide you these clients, then you'll get the money back guaranteed, I promise you. And they're going to sign. And then the next steps is basically to put this customer into a CRM. There's plenty of different ones. I'll let you choose your own. And pretty much stay up to date with them. Give them monthly phone calls. Monthly phone calls telling them how everything's going. What I typically do is I set up an automation where, like, let's say I started working with this person on the 14th of November. I'll set up the automation to be 1 month long and run every single month once. And at the end of the month, it's going to grab all the data from that month, how many leads I brought them, how much money that generated for them, how many closed, all that information, and it's going to format it into a very nice PDF for them, or JPEG, or whatever you really want. You can format it any way you want, and then you send it over. That way you don't have to do monthly calls, unless you want to do monthly calls, but it just adds friction. As long as you're providing them value and bringing them money, they don't really need a monthly call. They just want to know, okay, this is working, I'm going to keep paying it. So let's think about this logically, and let's think about this if it was you. So you're looking to learn AI automation. If I said to you, hey, you want to learn how to run an AI automation agency service? For the next 30 days, I'll work with you one-on-one and help you get your first client worth over $5,000. This does cost $1,000, but if I don't get you a client, you don't pay a dime. If I do get you a client, you give me $1,000 of the $5,000. You would say, so basically you're handing me $4,000. And I would say, pretty much, yeah, because that's basically what you're doing. It is the craziest business model that actually works, and most people don't even know about it. They don't even know how to do it because they're afraid to take the first step. You're basically giving people more money than they're paying you, and they don't have to do anything other than answer the call and agree. What I recommend is delay the payment. Say, I'll work for free this month. If I deliver you these results and it results in you making X money, give me $1,000. Done. Just like that. So if you guys did enjoy this video, I do run a community where I teach AI automation. It's currently $39 a month. Once we hit 800 members, it's going to be something like $70 a month because the price is going to be going way up. In this community, I'm going to be adding a section where I show you day by day how to get your first automation client, every tool I use, every script, every framework. I gave you this video for free. You can imagine the value that's going to be in this community. If you want to get in early before that price goes way up, I'm going to leave a link in the description. And also, I'm adding automations to this every single day. So we have an automation that makes 1,500 YouTube shorts on autopilot, long-form YouTube videos on autopilot, consistent AI characters, a bunch of good information in here, as well as 788 people looking to earn money online with AI. So you might find someone that you want to partner with. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link below. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. I'm happy to help you guys out. And let me know what type of content you guys are looking forward to seeing. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.